Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a program called Clean My Mac X. Whether you're new to Mac or have had a Mac for several years, you might notice that sometimes over time it'll start to slow down a little bit. So you got to run a little maintenance. Well, Clean My Mac X goes beyond just a simple utility of keeping it clean and optimizing, but it'll also help protect you from malware and things such as that. So today, let's take a look at that. First, if you want to get the program, you'll need to go to macpaw.com, and they do offer a free download, and there is a free trial available. However, if you do want the full features, starts at $34.95 per year. This is also available in the App Store. As you can see, I've already got this installed on my computer here, and I run it on all my Macs. And it does run for about the same price within the App Store. So whichever one you feel a little more safe dealing with. Before we continue, please consider subscribing to this channel, as it really does help it grow, and it's very appreciated. Now back to our program. So let's go ahead and open Clean My Mac X, and we'll take a little look around. So one of the first things you notice is a very simple and clean interface. You open it up, this is what pops up. You can hit scan, and it's going to go ahead and scan and look for junk files and how much room you can recover. It'll see if there's any threats, and it's also going to take a look and see what might be your large old files, and you can go in and determine whether you still want to keep those or not. It's all about optimization and protection. So once this finishes running, we'll go ahead and we'll see what the information gives us. Everything should be fine, because I do keep it fairly clean, but in case something does happen, hey, we'll take a look at it. So here we go. It's got 6.33 gigabytes of room that can be recovered because it's junk. Protection-wise, looks okay. And we've got 78.82 gigs of large and old files. This would be something that you'd want to go ahead and review to see if you can, recover some space if your storage space is running a little low. So right now, next you want to go ahead and hit run, and it's going to go ahead and tell you that, there are certain applications that you should go ahead and quit. Well, I did leave Safari open, so I'm going to go down and close that real quick. And now it starts running. It's going to clean this up, and see, it's recommending a deep scan. Basically, it's saying, hey, we ran a quick scan, something like what Norton and McAfee and things like that would do on a Windows computer. Quick scan tells you, oh, everything looks good. But every so often, you still have to run a more in-depth scan. So you can go ahead and run the deep scan right now. And it's going to go ahead and look for malware, signatures of malware. Now, this is going to take just a little bit of time, but not too long, because it is surprisingly very fast. So we'll just give it some time here while it runs and looks for it. Now it has come back as clean. Now there's a couple of other things you can do on here. You can go ahead and click on the assistant button up here, and it'll offer you some other things that you can take a look at. You can go ahead and let's look at start optimization if your computer's starting a little slow. We'll look at the start optimization to see if your Mac is starting a little slow. So this is what it's telling me is coming on as soon as I launch my Mac. Now, if there's something on here I don't really want to start with my Mac, then I can go ahead and let's say select that, and we can remove that basically from the startup. And that is good to go. We can come back in here. We can take a look at extensions. Again, sometimes you lose track of what extensions you have. You can take a look and see what it finds. And if you don't want it, of course, click here, click remove. Go back into Assistant, and it's going to do the same for your analyzing a storage. Now, this should be good. This is using what they call their Space Lens feature. So basically, it'll tell you here where your biggest files are, and then you can kind of zoom in from there. So it's already telling me my pictures are the biggest. Okay, let's click in here. Let's take a look at what are the biggest ones. Well, for photo library, that's as granular as it's going to get, because you can't go into the actual photos from there without opening photos. Once you open photos, then you can go ahead and delete whatever photos you want from that point. But let's say you see some of these, you see library. So what does it find in library? Well, messages looks to be a big one. Oh, then attachments, and then you can drill down a little further. Basically, it just gives you an overhead view of the biggest categories that are taking up space on your Mac. This is the Space Lens feature. You can get rid of stuff there. You can also go into your trash, see if you have stuff in the trash. Mine is currently empty. You kind of get the picture here. We already scanned for malware. We did the start optimization, but we can go ahead and do that again. This one just gives you a different view. See, it's already cleanup complete. You can also do several of these things over here on the left. Malware removal. It runs the runs the malware detection program, which has already been done. The uninstaller. Sometimes you'll have issues when you try to remove items or programs that you've installed on a Mac, and they don't all completely get removed. You can go in here, select one of them that you might want to remove, and it will thoroughly remove it for you. Again, look at extensions, Space Lens again, and your large and old files. You can kind of go through there and scan it and see what those files may be. And let's take a look. And then it brings up here, movie library, iMovie. Well, yeah, those do take up quite a bit of room. But you get the picture. Scan My Mac does all of this, and it does it really quickly. And most of it can be done just from the initial launch, hitting that first button. It's a very good program. It keeps your Mac optimized. It protects it against malware. And for those of you who still believe that Macs don't get viruses or malware, unfortunately, that's not true anymore. They do get targeted. No, not as much as a PC would, but they do get targeted. So it's always best to have something to give you some type of protection. And this program fits the bill, and it also runs smoothly, well integrated with the operating system. I just think it's a great program, and I would highly recommend anybody who's interested, take a look at it. I think it's really great. Thanks. If you like the video, please click the like button, ring the bell for notifications on further videos, and please consider subscribing if you found some value in the content that we're offering. Thank you.